I wasn't kidding about the possibility of us finishing this artwork in class today. Wasn't kidding. We're literally done with our pig. You don't have to have sunflowers like me. You can decide to have roses. You can decide to have corn. Whatever you want in your background, go for it. Yes. What I would do, however, is I would do kind of like a wash in your background here, like for your hill. I would use different strengths of green to create different colors of hills. Now you do that by adding water for lighter or less paint for a lighter color and more paint for a darker color. So let's practice playing with the amount of water we use in our paint. This is going to teach us how to create different variants or shades. So here we go. I'm picking up a lot of color right now, and I'm working with a flat. Lots of color, a little bit of water equals darker green. So let's kind of see that. That's really dark. So since the body of my pig is super dark already, it's brown, I kind of want to create a contrast. I want my pig to pop. So I'm probably not going to do a super dark hill of grass, because then my pig will kind of start fading into it. So I got this in here, and I'm using my extra paint to fill in this shape. And then I'm going to go over it with a thin layer of water. This is going to be one of my hills, but it's going to be the darker hill because it has a lot of paint. Okay. And if you wanted to change your color out, like do a lime yellow green, an emerald green, kind of like what I'm working with, go for it. Go for it. You can do that. That's okay. But I'm moving my paintbrush in the direction of which a hill would move. So it's add a little bit of a curve, because I got a curve in my hill. And then when my paint dries, see how I have little paint strokes going in kind of like a curve line? It's gonna give your piece some texture. I really don't want my light green to get too crazy, so I'm just going to add little dots or drops of it on my bottom hill here. And then I'm going to collect some water and I'm going to spread it out. I'm mimicking the way the hill will move. If I was actually coloring this with colored pencil or regular pencil, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be moving my shading object that I'm using to fill in this hill here. I would be moving it in the direction of how a natural hill would move. So you're literally kind of thinning out your dots of paint and you're creating a controlled wash. It's a lot easier than just doing the drag and pull method, because the drag and pull only goes so far, right? Now I kind of want hill number 2 to have a mixture of this kind of emerald green and this yellow kind of lime green. So I'm literally going to add dots of both. Now since I kind of want this hill to be lighter than hill number 3, I'm not going to add as many dark green dots. So let's see what happens here. And I can drag some of that emerald green from this outline into the body of my hill to see what happens. And since this curve is going this way, so is my brush. Just be really careful with the edge of your pig. You don't want to reactivate your watercolor and be like, ah! And if your hills are a little bit different, that's fine too. I'm just kind of describing why I'm doing certain things. The reason I want this hill to have both colors in it, I'm adding a little more dots of the dark green to kind of, make it pop out from hill number 1 here. The reason I'm adding both colors is I'm kind of wanting these hills to be separated, but I don't necessarily want them to be like, completely different from each other, if you know what I mean. But I do want to separate them, and I'm using color here to kind of create a sense of space. As you move darker, as you move further back into the picture, the hills become less vibrant and a little bit more darker. That's why I'm doing that. But you could do the opposite. You could have the hills get lighter in the background. Totally up to you. Your art, your choice. All right. So what colors did you guys decide to do your hills? I'm curious. All right. I'm going to teach you some different technique today. It's called the lift technique. I mentioned it when you guys are fixing issues on your paper or whatnot, but I did not mention it as an actual technique to actually create clouds. I don't remember. So I'm going to kind of do darker blue up here, and then as I go down, I'm going to get a little bit lighter. But you can literally use a cloth or some paper towel or what have you to kind of create a lighter shade of color on your paper. So let me show you how to do that. And I'm going to get out my bigger brush here. I don't want this brush, the bigger brush. Since I'm working with such a huge space here, I'm going to use a huge brush. Thin layer of water. A streak of blue on top of that thin layer of water. There's so many different things that you can do. Okay, so with clouds, there's different things you can do. You could use the white of your paper to kind of create those like streaky clouds that go across the sky. You could do that. So I'm going to do a little bit of that here. And then as I get down, then I will start and showing you another technique. Okay, so this has a decent amount of paper, paint on it, right? In order for this lift technique to work correctly, is you're going to need to have paint to lift off the paper. So I got a clean tissue paper here. I just applied a wash, and I'm literally lifting some of this paint off the paper. You see the cloud there that I kind of created? Now if you want it to stand out more, you could paint around that lift color that you made, and then you would literally have kind of like the shape of a fluffy cloud in the sky. So you could use the streak method, you could use the lift method. I'll repeat it over here so you guys can see what. Okay, so I have my wash, and while it's still wet, I'm literally lifting some of that off the paper. Now, I don't like how light it is, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to paint closer to it to kind of bring that shape back out. Kind of like it a little bit more than this one. And if you want to redo it, you can always put a color of wash back down again and then try again. See how I did not like that one cloud? I kind of wanted it to be a little more floofy. Very, very push and pull technique here. So that's one way that you can create clouds. Streak method, lift method. This can be done with a cotton ball. This could be done with tissue paper, toilet paper, handkerchiefs.